The neoclassical movement dominated the visual arts of Europe from the late 18th to the middle of the 19th century. The term Neoclassicism describes works that attempt to recreate the art of ancient Greece and Rome. Anton Raphael Mengs of Dresden was one of Europe's most celebrated early neoclassical painters. He tempered the neoclassicist desire for the noble simplicity and calm grandeur classical and with the color and proportion of the Italian Renaissance painters. A golden star on a floor of gray granite, antique red and yellow marble shines at the entrance to the Hall of the Papyri. The room was decorated by Raphael Mengs and is dedicated to Egypt and its importance in the history of the written word. The room contains the acclaimed 5th and 6th century papyri from Ravenna. Above the windows, Mengs painted delightful pictures of children at play. In the vault, he set two of the foremost ideals of wisdom and Moses with his radiant forehead, and Peter, whose portrait, full of pathos, is one of the most moving ever created of the apostle. In the center of the vault is an allegorical scene. In it, the figures of history, Father Time, the past and the present, remind us of how much our civilization owes to the Egyptian papyrus. For the Egyptians invented papyrus and material, allowing us to easily record the written word. And it is the written word that survives across the millennia, allowing the wisdom of the past to illuminate our present. Let us retrace our steps as we leave the galleries of the Vatican Library. As the development of its collections illustrates, the library contains objects which celebrate the history of the Church and the highest achievements of the human imagination and spirit. The objects which are displayed reflect the changing concerns of men and women over the centuries. The collection itself has been shown to be a microcosm of the development of art, architecture, science, literature, and religion, as reflected in the gifts and commissions of popes, princes, and ordinary people. Turning back through the galleries, the objects exhibited in the context of this wonderful building, decorated with such care, serve as instructive examples of the creative genius of man and the inspiration of God. The beauty of form and function are united in these splendid pieces of scientific equipment from the 17th century. It was a time when man uncovered the secrets of the heavens. Through explicit objects, such as this 1622 armillary sphere and 1656 globe, both heaven and earth were charted. The known world appears in this unusual Mappa Mundi, or world map, notably in Germany in the Middle Ages, portraying the continents just before the voyages of discovery began. The results of these voyages appear in the 1530 map, where the New World is clearly visible and known. The Farnese revolving planisphere, a gift to Pope Pie, again indicates how objects of technical are also perfect works of art, often, as in this instance, made from precious stones, gold and silver. Humility about the nature of the desire to create objects of beauty formed these instruments and maps at a time when art and science were one. The religious spirit of mankind appears again and again in the works displayed in the galleries. Beautiful objects of devotion, such as this altar decorated with gold, silver, blue lapis lazuli, green emeralds, and violet amethysts, containing miniatures of the Nativity and Last Supper, are testaments to faith and artistic skill. A magnificent 19th century kneeling stool of ebony, decked with diamonds, gilding, and ivory, was a gift of Pope Leo XIII. A crystal chalice bearing the arms of Pope Pius XII is displayed surrounded by other liturgical objects of great beauty. And crosses remind visitors to the gallery religious principles on which the Church rests, church in which the vestments of priests were themselves splendid works of art to stimulate the senses while enriching the soul. This 13th century English pluvial has engaged the odd centuries, and the message of the Passion itself is portrayed in moving form in these 18 Limoges enamel plaques made in 1680 by Robert Vauquier. Looking about the decoration of the walls reminds us that the very building is a work of art. And many of these frescoes celebrate moments in the history when great art and architecture were created or embellished in the name of God to make Rome the spiritual capital of the Christian, as once it had been the center of the ancient empire. This transformation is portrayed in the moving of the obelisk to the center of St. Peter's Square. The obelisk once stood in the middle of Nero's circus, upon which rose the Basilica of St. Peter. It took architect 5 months from April to September 1585 to move the obelisk. The scene is so vividly represented that one can almost sense the silent suspense of the onlookers and hear the straining of the ropes being pulled on wood and wheels. The perilous operations were repeated until the obelisk reached its new location, was raised, and stood. In this scene of human ingenuity and striving, the power of man the Creator is illustrated as an acknowledgement of our obligation to God the Creator. In the ancient capital of the Church, the popes built a city of lasting beauty and spiritual inspiration. The ancient past and Christian present of Rome unite in the Vatican, here over the tomb of Peter the Apostle. His began the tradition of Christian learning, which is the foundation of the Vatican Library. The galleries of the Vatican Library contain many splendid treasures. Infused with beauty and magnificence, these wonderful objects offer us an opportunity to experience the soul of the past. The splendor of the gallery's treasures feeds our hearts. Their inspiring history feeds our minds. Together, their beauty and their history nourish our souls.